So I think it's important to remember that nobody really cares anyways. And as I have been doing this whole reciprocity project, and I put out unbelievable amounts of content and talk to you in many different areas of, there's just lots of stuff, and I've told you all sorts of things about who I am, in all sorts of dimensions. And what you begin to realize is that, nobody really cares the sort of circle of the things that you're scared about, the extent of, are people going to see this and then think that I'm crazy, or, are they going to, perceive you in a really strange way? Man, you gotta realize nobody cares. They really don't. So the sort of amount of people, so at this point there's like millions of people that have seen me in different areas, in different sort of social media platforms and things like that. And it's interesting because, you still, it really does not change your life that much. Every once in a while I do know, some people that have friends and things that have watched one or two things, but they haven't watched it all. It's not like, they know everything about me. There's only like a fraction of the people that will ever watch this. It's interesting because there'll be like a lot of people within the domain, specifically PhD students that I've talked about a lot, the whole research game that are in my direct field, and they won't even know at all that, I'm on social media so much and all of that kind of stuff. And, it just goes to tell you, nobody cares. They really don't, and they're so focused on themselves that you don't have to worry about that much. You really don't. You can just be yourself, and no matter what you do and what you're about, you really can just be who you are. And I think you need to remember that, and be okay with being who you are. So I'm actually going for a walk right now. It's early in the morning with my dog, so I gotta kind of whisper, but I don't want to wake up the neighbors. But over the years of doing this at this point, you just get comfortable with being you. And the one thing I'm still learning how to do this. I'm still learning how to, ignore the outside pressure to do something, to sort of put up boundaries. And it is challenging for me. For example, this weekend, I had emails that were sitting there. It's the weekend, and I just have a lot of crap that goes on in the weekend with family and things like that. Right, like Saturday morning, I'm swimming with the boys. Then, we had people come over, and had to prepare and cook dinner. And then Sunday, we were cleaning and sort of doing stuff like that. I was working on the reciprocity project, putting a couple of blog posts, as well as sort of going through some of the software, and all of that. I just got lots of stuff on the go, and I'm never bored. I'm never sort of sitting around and any of that kind of stuff, but I still have that sort of feeling that, man, I need to go answer those emails, I need to go do that kind of stuff. And ultimately, even though you're sort of worried about all of that kind of stuff, they don't care. They're not thinking about it like you're thinking about it. It's not to the same degree, and so you just have to sort of take a step back and think about that sort of, reducing the mental burden that you have, the sort of thinking about things, your mental capacity, and keep going forward. And no, it's not going to change. I've been doing this for a long time. That sort of feeling doesn't change, but you have to take a step back and say, hey, you don't really have to do anything, and you're okay doing that. Just being a good, decent person, getting up, doing your thing, and going. There is just a lot of sort of mental capacity that you have, or sort of thinking about things and dwelling on things and sort of worrying about things. And really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They're not going to be that much different, if you get to that thing or not. And you just got to remember that the world is not going to be as upset as you think it's going to be in your head, and they're not going to care as much as what you think they're going to care about. There really isn't that much that goes on, and that's the big lesson that I've learned. The more with the Reciprocity Project, the more that I do with the Reciprocity Project, the more I realize that, man, it is okay just to be yourself, and you don't have to worry that much. Barring that different parts of the world have different sort of rules and things like that, but you're okay to be yourself. I think about all these, that there's a lot of people that sort of make moderate level of fame. I think about musicians, for example, that everybody would know their song and be like, oh, that's cool. And that, they are living their life as if they're absolutely normal people, and every once in a while, you might bump into somebody that is doing that, and you're like, oh, yeah, that was really cool. And then 15 minutes later, everything goes back to normal. It doesn't matter, just realize that whatever you're striving for, whatever you're thinking about, people just don't care that much. So, just be yourself, and I think that is the important thing. I'm always thinking about that now. Just be yourself. It's okay to be yourself and to do good things. So just keep it up. Just be yourself. Realize that not that many people care. In both bad ways and good ways, that allows you to just be who you are. One way or the other, it's going to be okay. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.